You ever wake up one morning and realize your entire life is about to turn into an episode of Cops, except it's all set in a sun-baked neighborhood that was supposed to be your escape from the madness? Yeah, me neither. At least not until solstice. Mesa. Let me set the scene. Imagine dropping a small fortune on your dream house, out where the desert meets a golf course, thinking you've finally outsmarted the suburban circus. No nosy neighbors, no committees, counting your weeds, just peace, sunlight, in a place that actually feels like yours. That was the fantasy, the reality. Oh, buddy, strap in. For about 8 months, I was living the life. Wide open skies, glass walls, the kind of silence you pay therapists to help you find. I'd start my mornings by the pool sketching out roof lines, sipping cold brew, thinking I'd hacked the system. No HOA rules, no dues, no snotty newsletters stuffed with suggestions, just me and the coyotes. And then, like all bad sequels, she arrived, Karen. I'll never forget it. Tuesday afternoon, I'm working by the pool sun, doing its best impression of a heat lamp when the front gate buzzes. Persistent, entitled, and I've never been told no, you know the type. I answer the intercom, and there she is. Wide-brimmed hat, big sunglasses, a smile that says she's here to take something, not ask for it. Hi, Randy. Right, I'm Karen Jessup, president of the Solstice Mesa Community Board. We need to talk. Not part of the HOA, I replied, not even bothering to hide it. But she didn't skip a beat. Folks like Karen never do. Of course, but technically we're still neighbors. I'll come up. And just like that, she's through the gate, striding up like trespassing was just an old family tradition. She scans the house like she's eyeing it for an open house, then launches into her pitch. Her birthday's coming up. The HOA president always throws a big party. But this year, she wants something fresh. Guess where she set her sights? My living room. It's perfect for entertaining, she says, like she's doing me a favor. I almost choked on my coffee. You want to throw your birthday party in my house? Exactly. I mean, look at this place, Randy. The yard, the views, the architecture. It's like Palm Springs had a baby with Architectural Digest. Everyone wants to see it. Look, I'm not a jerk by nature. But this is my home, my one quiet spot in a noisy world. I tell her as politely as I can, I don't rent it out, I don't host parties. I live here. That's the deal. She laughs that, oh, you're adorable laugh, and tries the whole community angle, goodwill, togetherness, blah, blah. I just let the silence hang until she runs out of steam. Then she leaves, already acting like she owns the place. Next day, letter from the HOA. Not even my HOA, mind you. Friendly reminder about community engagement expectations. No specifics, just enough legalese to sound menacing. 2 days later, a $150 fine for underutilized external grounds. Apparently my patio didn't live up to the suburban fun quota. That one went straight into the trash. But that was just the warm-up. A couple nights later, I get a text. Multiple residents have reported disturbing noise levels from your property. Please be considerate. No name, no signature, just Helvetica and hostility. Karen showed up again that weekend, hanging on the other side of the gate, acting like maybe if I just agreed to a small gathering, she'd stop making my life hell. I told her no again. Her smile flickered, the mask slipping for half a second. Then she leaves, gate swinging wide behind her like she's marking territory. I checked my security footage later that night. She'd hung around just outside the camera's range, scouting out my blind spots. That's when I knew this wasn't over. So I did what any self-respecting introvert would do, upgraded my cameras, and started a digital backup for every file, just in case Karen got creative. And boy, did she ever. Next week, 2 sheriff's deputies show up, mirrored sunglasses, pressed uniforms, all business. I let them in partly because I wanted to see what story Karen fed them, partly for the camera. We've received reports of unauthorized short-term rental activity at this property, one of them says. I nearly laughed in his face. I'm not running a rental. This is my house, my primary residence. No one's here but me. They push, ask to look inside. I say, no, warrant, no entry. Carter, the one with the linebacker stance, drops a compliance notice in my mailbox claiming my house is due for an inspection. The kicker. The place passed full city inspection a year ago. I built it myself, permits and all. So I checked the camera logs, and sure enough, 2 days before, that same deputy had been chatting with Karen in the golf club parking lot, looking real chummy. She wasn't just angry. She was organized. That's when I brought in the big guns, my brother Mike, Homeland Security West Coast Division, the kind of guy you call when you need to know the difference between harassment and a criminal racket. He shows up, drinks my terrible coffee, scrolls through the footage, and grins. She's orchestrating this, he says. Now let's see if she takes the bait. We set up a fake listing, private event space, invite only. Within hours, Karen's texting all sunshine and emojis. So glad you came around. Let's meet to finalize details. She wanted me to sign a temporary use agreement which, buried in legal jargon, would give the HOA full control of my property for 48 hours. Mike and I played along, wired up the place with hidden mics, ready to catch whatever scam she tried to run. Karen arrives for the walkthrough with her entourage, clipboard guy muscle with a badge-shaped chip on his shoulder. She lays out the paperwork, pushes the narrative, threatens fines for obstructing sanctioned events. Mike finally steps in, flips open his badge, and tells her, calm as you please. She's being recorded. The documents are fraudulent, and what she's doing is a federal crime. You should have seen her face. She tries to snatch my phone. Mike blocks her. Her security guy freezes. Actual deputies show up, the real ones, not Karen's golf buddies, and start asking questions. Suddenly, Karen's spinning, claiming it's a misunderstanding that we tricked her. But the evidence is all there, the fake fines, the forged contracts, the cozy relationship with certain law enforcement. Even her own muscle starts to flip, admitting there were under-the-table payments to keep problem homeowners in line. Then, as if the universe wanted to really rub it in, I get an anonymous email, financial records from inside the HOA. Turns out Karen and her cronies had been cooking the books for years. Fake vendors, forged signatures, emergency votes that never happened. My house listed as a community asset in HOA, files with my signature forged on the consent form. Mike cross-checks everything, sends it straight to the Attorney General's office. It didn't take long. The HOA was frozen, accounts locked, and Karen, well, let's just say she got an early morning visit from a couple of unmarked cars. No fanfare, no neighbors gawking, just a bathrobe, and the look of someone who finally realized the rules do apply to her. By noon, the rest of her board had scattered. The HOA's rainy day fund was seized, over $130,000 gone into the void of fraudulent maintenance and beautification contracts. Here's the best part: for the first time since I'd moved in, the silence returned. No more bogus fines, no more urgent emails about patio arrangements, no more Karen. The Attorney General's office asked Mike to help oversee the board during the investigation. Guess who got drafted as interim president? Yeah, me. Turns out when you pull a community back from the brink, folks remember your name, and sometimes they bring muffins. Thanks, Pam. We tore down every fake policy, fired every shady consultant, put the books online for everyone to see. No more secret meetings, no more emergency votes that only existed in Karen's imagination. Charlene, the whistleblower, got a full-time gig on the condition she never had to attend another HOA potluck. A couple weeks later, I stood up at a packed town hall and said my piece. This happened because we let it. Never again. People clapped, some cried, a few looked genuinely relieved to finally be heard. When it was over, a neighbor I'd never even met shook my hand and thanked me for not backing down. 3 months later, Solstice Mesa felt like home again. The landscape was cleaner, the air lighter, maybe just fewer sweaty palms, or maybe just freedom. Karen's trial date was set, the charges longer than a CVS receipt fraud conspiracy, forging public records, you name it. She lawyered up, disappeared from the community, no more emails, no more bolded memos. I can't say I missed her. What keeps me up sometimes is how close she came to getting away with it. If I hadn't noticed the pattern, if Mike hadn't stepped in, if Charlene hadn't risked everything, Solstice Mesa would have turned into Karen's personal fiefdom, and I'd be out on the curb branded a problem neighbor. But that didn't happen. We fought back. We got justice, or at least as close as you can get in a place like this. And honestly, that's what community's supposed to mean: watching each other's backs, holding power, accountable, making sure nobody gets steamrolled by the loudest voice in the room. So if you're listening and you've got a story like mine, don't back down. Stand up, call out the bullies, and remember, even one person can crack the dam if they push hard enough. Now, before you go, I want to hear your thoughts. What does justice look like in your neighborhood? Have you ever stood up to a bully and won? Or maybe you think I went too far. Either way, drop a comment, share your story. This place is better because we finally started talking, not just nodding along. Let's keep it going together.